Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to our Drainage District Board of Directors meeting posted for today, November the 6th, 2018. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
All right, let us pray. Father God, again, we give you many thanks, Lord, for another day that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for this board that you've appointed, Lord. We continue to pray for them, Lord. Continue to bless them with your wisdom, Lord. Continue to provide them your peace to come through your Son, Lord, as they continue to make the decisions that affect us all, Lord. I continue to ask for your wisdom as well for myself, Lord, for all my staff, and for all the leaders of this great county, Lord. For we all want what's best for all of us, Lord. Just help us to continue to work as was working for you, Lord. I ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Under open forum, did anyone sign up?
Yes, sir, we do have one participant. I will ask the audience to please respect the speaker's time. There is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there's 1 minute left. Our presenter is Dr. Casey Fletcher.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Kenneth C. Fletcher. I reside in the fair city of Pharr, and we're currently city managerless, but we're doing okay. And it's okay to speak here at the county level? Thanks. And I'm a resident of Precinct 2 at Econ 2. And today I would like to talk about an interesting statistic. You know, we're all interested in dollars and everything. And when I saw this dollar amount, it sort of made me holler inside. Do you all realize that the total debt obligation of Hidalgo County of the state of Texas since September 18, 2018 is $166,780,000, and that's not without the current $190,000 that's under vote. In the Drainage District, it has some good aspects, but I'm concerned about the transparency and how the money is spent and who the money goes to. We don't want it to go to some, what I call, forgive me, a greedy son of a ditch. You know, we want the construction made at the lowest cost to the taxpayer, please. And I'm heartened to hear the Drainage District 1 people, the staff are totally accessible, and they're in agreement, and they're working to establish wildlife corridors. That's patches of the drainage that will have native trees, please. And this is an example of trees that are grown at Santa Ana Wildlife federal program. And if the federal government can grow these trees, you know, anybody can. And for your information, this is a biodegradable. It's called a BAND band, and the roots are spreading out. The shape of it makes the roots spread out laterally. This happens to be a Prosopis glandulosa, the mesquite tree. And when you say mesquite tree, everybody goes, oh my God, trash tree. But this has a root system that'll stabilize the bank system, and that's a very important subject. And the city of Pharr, sorry I didn't notice anybody from Precinct 2 in attendance, but we had a Prop A Ganda meeting. It was a town hall on the to sell the drainage in the city of Pharr. But it turns out in the city of Pharr, some person that's in charge of maintaining the ditch, I believe I was informed that a city-maintained ditch, not a county, failed, and that caused a major flooding event. So if we're going to spend this money, if it passes, please keep up the maintenance. And everything's local, all politics is local, but any addition to the wildlife corridor throughout the valley will enhance the $500 million at least ecotourism industry. So this is Drainage District meeting? Yeah, sorry, we should ditch E1 Hidalgo Care Funding District from the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Under our consent agenda, any concerns?
No, sir, none that I'm aware of.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. Item 5, if we may wait on Mr. El Guapo Villarreal to come present. he's on his way. So, if I may, Judge, move to item 6.
Go ahead.
Approval of revised Hidalgo County District Number 1 uniform policy. The board approved a uniform policy where we provide the shirts to all our employees, all our maintenance operation employees, and we were having issues with providing the jean sizing and everything. So we came to the board and got a policy approved to provide those via stipend, and we're reaffirming this policy with just clarification on a 6-month requirement. In other words, you have to be 6 months, and then provide a total of $350 for the pants, and if they want to get boots or whatever, yearly. Just want to clarify it's a yearly action I want to take. We evaluated the costs that we were paying for the purchase of the jeans that we're providing, and it equates to within the numbers that we were seeing for that. So we want to amend that policy to provide that.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7, A, application payment number 2 in the amount of $124,278.30 from Green Construction LLC pertaining to construction contract number 8CTD1 18-015-0328-J09 drain improvements phase 2 roadway and field crossings. Everything's in order.
So move.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, requesting acceptance and approval of work authorization number 4 in the amount of $267,518.96 as submitted by Project Engineer B to Z Engineering LLC in relation to professional engineering services for the site-specific analysis, mapping, and photogrammetry for precinct number 3 through award contract number 8CDD1 17-037-0627 for Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 Phase 1 drainage study, subject to final legal review and compliance, House Bill 1295 applicable.
So move.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 9, there'll be no action, but there is an item further on the agenda that covers it. Item 10, requesting approval of Third Amendment to Interlocal Cooperation Agreement dated December 5th, 2017, by and between Dow County Drainage District number 1 and Dow County Urban County Programs. It relates to change order number 6 in the amount of $76,967 for Penitas Drain Project Phase 2.
So move. Second.
Those in favor say aye. 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 Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, requesting acceptance and approval of work authorization number 3 in the amount of $44,010.92 as submitted by LNG Engineering in relation to professional engineering services to provide field surveys for design and construction of outfalls, management coordination of subsurface utility engineering for outfalls through award contract number CACD1 18-004-0206, Dow County Drainage District number 1, Wesco North Lateral Ditch 350, 47-7V, 17B, 2A, 1A extension, and 17 drainage area improvement, subject to legal review and compliance with Form House Bill 1295.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 12A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Liquor Code 262.024A4 for professional surveying services.
So move. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, presentation of scoring grid for 2 sets of firms graded through the district's pool of pre-qualified professional surveyors for the purpose of ranking by ACDD1 Board of Directors in connection with on-call professional surveying services required for Hidalgo County Drainage District 1 projects on an as-needed basis. The first set, we have TESDA Infrastructure with a score of 91, South Point Surveying Company a score of 90, and Right-of-Way Surveying Services LLC a score of 94. And the second set is Quintanilla Henley Associates with a score of 96, Sames Engineering a score of 94, Argutias Engineering with Corporation score of 93, with the board wishes to rank as stated.
So move. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for the Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 to negotiate professional surveying service agreement with each of the number 1 ranked firms presented. The first set would be Right-of-Way Surveying Services LLC, and second set would be Quintanilla Henley Associates Inc. for the provision of on-call professional surveying services for the Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 projects on an as-needed basis.
So move.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion
We do have
carries.
one item, real estate and executive. Oh, it's Paul here? Yes. Come on up, Chief.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning. I believe you have in front of you the certified tax rolls of October 1st, 2018, and we're here for approval. The Hidalgo County Drainage District right now has a number of accounts, 318,406, with a market value of $43,951,582,942, for a taxable value of $34,732,762.896. Total levy for the drainage district, it's $33,062,978.36. So just need your approval.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We do have one item, Secretary.
Pursuant to 551.071 and 072 of the Texas Government Code, I need a motion to proceed to executive session.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, we are back in open session.
Yes, sir. On item 14A, real estate acquisition will proceed as directed. 14B, no action.
Move to adjourn. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
Thank you.
carries. At this time, we're going to be convening our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, posted for today, November the 6th, 2018. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what's best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Julie, did that person come?
Can
Are
we
they
hold-
here on
Can we hold off on doing that one for a little bit?
22A?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're not ready for yours. If you want, we can do 11D.
All right, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, Judge, could we get consent agenda real quick? Could we get the consent agenda out of the way?
All right.
For the regular agenda. So, under the consent agenda, I'm asking to set aside item 8A.
Move for approval. Second. The rest of the agenda basically.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And with respect to consent agenda item 8A, I'm asking, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes is abstaining from any discussion and/or action on item consent agenda 8A. Judge?
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, I've been asked to move up item 11D.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Julia Sullivan, Public Affairs Office for the Executive Office. Item 11D is a resolution opposing the militarization of the U.S.-Mexico border. Whereas Hidalgo County is one of several Texas counties that shares a border and numerous ports of entry with Mexico, and whereas the current federal administration is sending military personnel to the southern border in response to an expected increase in the number of individuals requesting asylum at our ports of entry, including in Hidalgo County. And whereas individuals from Central America travel to the United States to request asylum because of a complex set of social and economic factors that cannot be resolved solely by the stationing of military personnel at the southern border to prevent potential asylees from arriving in the United States. That was a mouthful. And whereas the laws of the United States offer people the right to request asylum at United States ports of entry, and whereas Hidalgo County may be negatively impacted by increased militarization of its border with regards to trade and other economic partnerships between Hidalgo County and Mexico. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby requests that until further measures can be worked out by Congress and/or the United Nations, we treat all immigrants in a humane manner, and that Congress work on a long-term solution that does not permanently militarize the border.
Second.
I've got a question here. What is this on? What is it closing?
It's about.
Somebody say closing the borders?
No. Well, why don't we proceed and begin with Ms. Cass?
We'll do the vote later? Okay.
Ann,
Yes, sir.
you're the proponent of this motion. You're asking us to consider this issue.
We're asking you to consider this issue. We being the Equal Voice Network of the Rio Grande Valley, we're totally opposed to the regular Army being down here and putting up the barbed wire like they're the concertina wire, and the bridges are not open right now for people to file for asylum, which is the legal manner. So we have a statement from the Network Weaver, and then we have the Honorable Judge Linda Yanez here to talk a little bit more about what asylum, what that means for people coming up here.
All right.
And your questions?
No, the only question was, is this something to do with closing the borders? No, I guess not.
No, in fact, it would be just the opposite,
It's
actually.
for the posting of the military on the border.
All right, move for approval.
We just don't believe that having the military, the active Army down here is the solution. Already I've gotten calls from all over the United States wanting to know what the heck is going on here in the Rio Grande Valley. And it is not a proper response either to people who are fleeing violence in Central America. But now I'll introduce Christina Houle. Oh, they need to vote first and then we give comments?
Move for approval.
Before we vote, though, we need to, Judge Yanez, you were going to say something?
Yes.
Excuse me. Okay. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good.
Yes, I was called last night and asked if I could be here to either answer questions and make some comments about asylum law. And of course, all of you know right now I am not representing anyone or out on the trenches actually appearing before the courts on persons who are asking for asylum. So I just want to give sort of a little broad brush on asylum law and then also here to answer any of your questions. Now, asylum's roots come from the Geneva Conventions after World War II, when the nations came together to have rules of war. And part of that was conventions against torture and also how we deal as an international community with persons who are fleeing persecution. And this obviously came as a result of the fleeing of Jews from Germany and how they were turned away from certain countries. The United States is a signatory to the conventions. And then after that, Congress has codified asylum law in our immigration laws, right? So we have procedures and substantive requirements for somebody to be eligible for asylum, and also the procedures. And I have been involved directly in federal litigation back in the 80s about how to process them, who should be advised that they have the right to request it, and how to process the applications. So as a signatory to the conventions and within our own domestic law, the United States has agreed that if someone presents themselves for an asylum claim, that it has to be, that person needs to be given due process and processed. And I know that right now what's in the news are the Central Americans that are in that so-called caravan headed toward these borders. So what happens to them? Well, they can either literally present themselves at the border, right? The bridge is the border. And if you find yourself knocking at the door at the bridge, a person can be excluded from entry, right, if they don't have the proper documentation. And one of the requests that they can make at that point is if they believe they have a valid claim for asylum, they can file that claim. However,
The United States can parole them in while they're processing the application, or they can exclude them and say, you have to wait in Mexico before we process you. That is, someone presents themselves. Now, let's say a person comes into the country however they came in. If they cross the border, but they didn't present themselves for inspection, and then they're found in the country, they would be placed in deportation proceedings. And there's a big difference between exclusion and deportation, because in exclusion proceedings, the Constitution doesn't attach, because you're not deemed to be here, even if you're physically here. Whereas in deportation proceedings, you have certain constitutional rights of due process, right? So the point being that neither the president cannot make a decision about who can or can't apply for asylum and how that is processed, because that is both in case law and codified in the Immigration and Nationality Act and the Geneva Conventions, that we have to give these people an opportunity to apply. Now, having said all that, I haven't interviewed these people. I don't know what their claims are. There are other lawyers, obviously, here in the Valley who have. But just based on the reporting from the people who are being interviewed, I think they have a very tough path to make a claim for asylum, because we're hearing that they're fleeing poverty and gang violence. And those are not bases for asylum. So that's their challenge and the difficult news. So the answers are not simple. We need leadership in Congress, in the White House, to figure out how are we going to respond. We have certain legal obligations, and then there are also humanitarian considerations that need to be taken into account. And ultimately, we have to address the push factors. Why are these people leaving their countries? People do not leave their countries on a whim. And we need to, militarization is not a response to an immigration issue, and neither is threatening to cut aid to the countries these people are coming from, because that exacerbates the situation. We need to be helping them deal with the issues that they're fleeing, and this takes sober, thoughtful, complex approach, and it's not an overnight approach. And here, we who live here, obviously, we're right on the front lines, and this is going to affect our lives. And so that's where we are from a very broad brush legal perspective. As a country, we have certain obligations to persons who are seeking asylum, but so do the countries they're traveling through. We need to work with Mexico. We need to work with these Central American countries. Again, no easy answers. I'm not here to say there are any easy answers. It's a difficult and complex problem that's going to take investment by the international community on refugee issues. And the last point that I wanted to make, that I made to Ann last night, the asylum laws really were meant to address issues, for example, the Syrians who are leaving Syria and are in refugee camps in Jordan, the Yemenis, because they are literally being bombed and killed by their own governments. That's what it tries to address. So, again, very broad brush, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
I wanted to state that I believe that we need to protect our borders. If we are to exist as a country, we need to protect our border. We need to follow the law in doing so. However, I do not believe or agree that militarizing our border is the proper way of doing it. Our business community has in the past advised us that every time that when the perception is that we have militarized our border, that hurts our economy. And there's an article that came out today related to a think tank, an economic think tank, the Perriman Group, which concludes that troop deployment to the border was harming our economy. And that is a reason why I would be supporting this resolution. I know we have a motion to approve. Was there a second?
Second.
All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Approve the 6th day of November 2018. And we have Christina Patino-Huel, who's from the Equal Voice Network, who would like to say a few words.
Good morning, esteemed judge and commissioners. I'm the network weaver for the Rio Grande Valley Equal Voice Network. We're a coalition of nonprofits here in the valley. And we proposed this resolution today because we are now witnessing the highest levels of displacement on record in the world, where an unprecedented 68.5 million people have been forced from home, among them nearly 25.4 million refugees, over half of whom are under the age of 18. It is imperative that our government be supportive of proactive approaches to immigration that consider the deep complexities of why people migrate. When a person is ill, the doctor will prescribe medication to treat the symptoms, but also give instructions to fix the cause. Similarly, our global immigration system has been neglected, and we must now work to rectify the cause. We greatly appreciate your support on this issue, and I'm here on behalf of the executive directors of all of our network partners. Thank you.
Would you all like to take a picture with them? A photo?
Oh, okay.
Would you like to go up and take a photo with Commissioner's Court? Let's these carpet towels or your and on that side as well. Just make sure you Thank you.
Are we ready on 22A?
No, no.
Okay,
Can we?
then let's proceed with item number 5B. We have a young man here, Mr. Jose L. Casares, who has been awarded the Texas Dentist of the Year award by his organization.
Please join us. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Whereas Jose L. Casares, Jr. was announced Texas Dentist of the Year at the Texas Academy Awards celebration in Austin on September 21st, 2018, which was held in conjunction with the Texas Academy of General Dentistry's Lone Star Dental Conference. And whereas Dr. Casares is the first dentist from the Rio Grande Valley to be awarded Dentist of the Year, which is considered the most prestigious honor a Texas dentist can receive. Nominations are submitted by district dental societies and local components of the Texas AGD from all areas of the state. And whereas Dr. Casares was nominated by the Rio Grande Valley District Dental Society and chosen from among 19 nominees by a distinguished panel of judges, the winners determined based on contributions to dentistry, service to community, dedication to the principles of continuing education, and other activities that indicate character and excellence. And whereas Dr. Casares is a 1985 graduate of Baylor College of Dentistry and practices at McAllen Dental Associates in McAllen, Mid-Valley Dental Associates in Mercedes, and La Jolla Dental Center in Penitas. And whereas he is a founding member of Dentists Who Care, which provides free care to underserved populations, Dentists Who Care has served 27,000 children and adults in its 20 years of existence. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby honors Dr. Jose L. Cáceres for his dedication and service to the community and congratulates him on being named the 2018 Dentist of the Year.
Second.
Approve the 6th day of November 2018. And we'd like him to
Congratulations,
say.
Doctor.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Jonas.
Yes, if I could take a point of personal privilege, I want to thank Judge Garcia, county commissioners, for this honor. Sometimes it's best to be honored by your friends, family, and neighbors, although it was nice receiving this honor from our Texas Academy of General Dentistry. I have been asked before in the past, about my favorite quote, that being, I am part of everyone I have met. And that goes way back to your grade school teachers. You go back and you may not remember who won the gold medal a couple of years ago, but ask somebody who their first grade teacher was and their second grade, and you remember those people. Those are the people that molded you way back when and instilled in you that work ethic of doing things for the right reason, that education is foremost. I'd like to thank my father, who's in the Jose Cáceres Jr. He's senior, and he's right here with us.
Good morning, Mr. Cáceres.
And so the role model our parents give us it's incredible, and that's the message I give to everyone I meet. From preschoolers on up, that the work ethic that we all have here, growing up in the Rio Grande Valley, the culture of loving each other, taking care of each other. You just witnessed that just a few minutes ago, and I would thank everyone here for the work you do for our county and our constituents of the county, because we know sometimes the long hours. I know because I've done some of that, for our profession, and sometimes it goes, the unsung heroes are the ones that work behind closed doors for long hours, but you do it for the good of everyone. So I thank you for honoring me, and for my family for putting up with me for all those years of being away from home and doing all these things. But this room, I think, is full of a bunch of people doing things for the good of others, and I'm proud to be part of McAllen, the Rio Grande Valley, and the state of Texas, and thank you again for honoring me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Dr. Cáceres, and then your family afterwards. So if you could just stand on your side of these parking lots. And watch Ivana over here. Dr. Cáceres' family, if you could join him up here. Some of you can stand by Commissioner Fuentes as well on the cardinal tab to balance it. And then begin on. Smile. Good news.
Okay, on the count of three, please. Everybody look forward and smile. 1, 2, and 3. Can you have perfect? Oh, yes. We want you as a photo. Yeah. Oh. Just yours. Okay.
We don't know who you always want. Thank you, sir.
Okay, everybody look forward, please, and smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good to see you.
Judge, Commissioners, if we can go ahead and move up item 22A and have that be next.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Elizabeth Gonzalez with Commissioner Palacios' office for item 22A, presentation of recognition on behalf of Lupe, La Unión del Pueblo Entero. I have Ms. Martha Sanchez, coordinator for the organization. She'll be saying a few words.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Especially good morning, Commissioner Joseph Palacios. This morning, people from Precinct 4 has few things to say to you. This is for you. We wanted to take the opportunity before the year end to express our gratitude, and for the people who you serve to express the gratitude. So I'm going to give their space. I'm going to be translating. I'm not going to be translating everything because it's going to be a lot, but I'm going to try to translate some. I think that we are. So the first person.
Buenos días, mi nombre es María Romero y el día de hoy vengo representando a mi colonia Iowa Garden, señor comisionado Joseph Palacios. En nombre de las colonias de Precinto 4 y el trabajo que usted y su equipo, junto con las organizaciones Lupe Your Rights, en drenaje, luz pública, pavimentación de calles, limpieza de colonias, programas de verano en San Carlos CRC, banco de comida, ayuda a las colonias afectadas con inundación. Por esto le damos las gracias y le deseamos que en todos los proyectos que vengan para usted sean de éxito. Muchas gracias por todo su trabajo.
Good morning. My name is Maria Romero, and I live in Precinct 4. Commissioner Joseph Palacios, in the name of the other colonias from Precinct 4, and for the other work that you did, and with all your team, with the name of the organizations Lupe and Rice, for all the work that you did in drainage, public light, paving streets, cleaning colonias, the summer program in San Carlos, and for the food bank, for all the help that you did to the colonias when there was flooding. For all these, we thank you, and we wish you good luck in all the projects and whatever you choose to do. We're grateful, and we wish you the best. Thank you. Thank you again, Commissioner Palacios.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. Palacios, I want to give you special thanks. First, for all you do to all the colonias, but especially for my colonia, the Curry Estates. It's the first colonia you work on the infrastructura, and it's doing really good. They're already starting on the lights, and my neighbors, they're really happy. I like to share this experience with you. I remember many years ago, around 4 or 5 years, it is a cold morning, really cold morning, and you walk with all the neighbors around the neighborhood to look what is the real problem on our colonia. And we really appreciate that. In that time, we make sure you are our commissioner. So that's why every time I saw you, we told you we love you. So we wish you the best of your life and your career, and thank you very much for always be there for us. When we knock your door, you always there, and you can remember too. You are one of our champs on the public light. So every time when Lupe invite you to our meetings or anything, you would get. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also have the intentions of you have very much talented people in your precinct, and I know you know that. But Alberta Ramirez we've been working in her colonia, Owaza Acres, for a while, and she's talented to write corridos. And so she wrote a corrido for you, for her colonia, where you mentioned. And so that's going to be a really tough cookie to translate, but you understand it. And so we actually had the intention of the musician to come and play it. But we still, he was unable, but Alberta's going to read the corrido to you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Alberta Ramírez y que hoy quiero darle las gracias, comisionado Yossi Palacios, por todo lo que nos ha hecho solucionar el problema que teníamos en mi colonia. Vengo de la colonia Guasacres y no me tocaba a mí, no llegó el músico que tenía que cantarle el corrido, pero se lo voy a leer. Dice el corrido de la Guasacres. Año del 1999, cuando a esta colonia llegué, con la más grande ilusión de que aquí construiría yo un hogar para mi familia. Pero al poquito tiempo fueron llegando las lluvias y con ella llegó Dolly, que a las colonias del valle inundó. Una de ellas fue la Guasa, que entre el agua y los mosquitos y lombrices, las familias resistían. Pidiendo a Dios su ayuda, fue en el año 2015 cuando la Lupe llegó, organizando a la gente que Alberta representó. A la Corte de Comisionados el problema se llevó. Y gracias a Dios y a Yossi Palacios, que después de 3 años de lucha, él fue el que nos escuchó, construyendo un gran canal que por nombre lleva Alberta Dren, beneficiando a varias colonias. Una de ellas es la Guasa, que el problema resolvió. Con sus calles arregladas y la gente muy contenta, y al grito de sí se puede, se ponen a festejar. Con músicos del Valle y ayuda de Visigold, se ha grabado este corrido que hoy acaban de escuchar. Vuela, vuela, palomita, por estas hermosas calles, y lleva este mensaje a todas las comunidades, que en la unión está la fuerza para el bien de nuestro valle. Que Dios lo bendiga, señor Yossi Palacios.
Buenos días, señor comisionado José Palacios. Para nosotros esta bandera es muy especial y representa la lucha que tenemos en la organización Lupe, así como lo es para nosotros, y ha sido usted para nosotros también una persona muy especial. Le damos las gracias y le entregamos este reconocimiento y esperamos que su lucha siga y nunca pare, que continúe y que tenga muchos éxitos en adelante en su vida. Muchísimas gracias por todo su apoyo y por trabajar junto con nosotros, con toda la comunidad de la organización Lupe. Gracias.
We would like to take a picture with you and all of us who came here, and we really appreciate all your effort and knowing that whatever you choose to do, we'll be there with you, and all the spirit of these people who are appreciates so much. You are the best commissioner for Precinct 4. You have a really high standard for the next commissioner, and we're going to hold her to the fire. Thank you so much.
I will just share a couple of words, if I may. First of all, thank you very much. I appreciate this. I asked Elizabeth what this was all about. She didn't give me anything. I had no idea you were doing this, so I appreciate it. But I want to thank Lupe. I see Juanita Cox there. All of the leaders in Lupe, as well as Arise, and all the Equal Voice Network. It's been an honor to represent you for 8 years. 8 years was a blessing nonetheless. What we did in 8 years echoed an eternity for me of what I was destined to do in my 8 years. But I appreciate the time with the court and all those who believed in our cause for the last 8 years. The funny thing is I started with a corrido. Someone sang a corrido when I first ran, and I'm going to end with a corrido, and it's an honor. Thank you very much. My kids and my family and my wife would really appreciate that. But thank you very much. It's been an honor, and I'm not going anywhere. I look forward to helping the cause for a better community, and if I could be of any service, count on me. Thank you.
Maybe you ought to go and take a picture with them in front.
I got it. You arranged them.
6-8 years.
I think first with Marta. I think first with Commissioner, and then we'll do it with the Commissioner's Court. Yvonne, is this good?
For this photo.
Real tight, so you won't see us. So we won't come out.
Okay, on the count of three.
Maybe.
Please,
Smile.
everybody. One, two, and three. Everybody smile, please. One more.
I'm going to tell them to look this way. And can you look this way real quick?
Are we ready? 1, 2.
And now we're going to do it with Commissioner's Court. We're going to take one more photo with Commissioner's Court. One more picture with Commissioner's Court. Can I get in the middle?
Please, everybody look this way, please. On the count of three. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
At this time, I see that we have our elections administrator.
Thank you.
And today being election day, and
You're welcome. Is this good?
we want to remind everyone to go and exercise their right to vote. And we're going to be proceeding to item 18A.
Thank you so much, Judge and Commissioners, for moving the item up. I'm Yvonne Ramon, and I am here with item A, discussion on election topics. You have received a little packet. The first one outlines the total early vote record number for Hidalgo County at 107,353 unofficial votes cast. You can see that in comparison to 2014, early vote brought out 55,172. Our mail ballot count is also up by 2,800 votes, 2,800 ballots, and you can even see that our registered voters are up from 321,564 to now unofficially 362,932. And every day that count goes up and up and up a little bit at a time as those voters that are under they're called PSV, which are pending state verification, and they are continuously becoming active voters. So I appreciate our community calling and finding out. The second item is, of course, our 74 Election Day poll locations, and this is very important because, again, the community calling us, keeping in mind that you no longer have to go to that one designated precinct poll location. Now you are able to vote at all 74, whichever one is most convenient, whichever one is closer to you, your ballot will be available. So there are 74 Election Day sites. Please call our office at 318-2570. Go on our website. We've got links everywhere, and be sure to let everyone know how important it is to go out there and vote. The last item that I have for you, of course, aside from our federal, state, and county, we've got 18 local elections that are taking place. So these are also on our website. Find out, look at your sample ballot, find out what is on your ballot, and make sure that you head out to vote. The polls will be open until 7 p.m. today, and if you arrive at before 7, even though there may be a line, you will be allowed to cast your ballot until the last voter that was there at 7 gets to vote. The last item that I have for you are some statistics. You can see that our numbers are up, and that's this, and I will show you what it says. At the bottom, you will see that we have 13,984 brand new voters voting out of those 107,353. 13,984 voted for the first time. 6,686 registered this year alone, and 7,298 prior to 2018, but this was the very first time they voted. The stats clearly show that our 18 to 22-year-olds are going out to vote. That is at the bottom of the chart. You can see that 20-year-olds are one of the highest turnout. Then between the ages of 23 to 41, and we are looking at the 107,000 voters, the numbers drop. That's part of our community. I'm sure people working and trying to earn a living, but between the ages of 23 to 41, we're calling out to you, get out there and vote today. Then the numbers go back up between the ages of 42 to 69, 61 being the highest so far in voter turnout. So again, we like to look at the stats. We like to know who's out there voting. So I thought you would appreciate this information. Yes, sir, Commissioner.
For instance, if people live in Edinburgh and they're voting in Edinburgh CISD race, can they vote anywhere or they have to vote in Edinburgh?
Anywhere, Commissioner. That is such a good question because I think that those 18 local elections, their ballots are also everywhere. Okay. So throughout the 74 locations, Edinburgh will find their ballot at all 74.
So if you live in Edinburgh CISD and you're working in La Jolla today, you can go vote in La Jolla?
You may go vote in La Jolla. That's exactly right.
Well, that includes the day of election.
Right.
Yes.
That includes
Day of election.
Today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On Election Day, of course, they could do that during early voting at the 34 sites that we had, which encompass those 107,000 plus. But they can also do that now on Election Day, which is critical. No one will be turned away. The only thing I ask our voters is to be informed, and if they have a question about their voter status, call our office, 318-2570, and find out. Pull down a sample ballot and see what's on your ballot. We've got some propositions, we've got some charter changes, we've got the drainage. So there is a lot to read on the ballot. So let's be prepared.
318-2570?
318-2570 is where they can call.
Y'all are taking calls today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I've done in order to benefit the poll location and the community is I've split up the calls. Our poll workers have a direct line to a certain set of workers, and our community can either come by at 101 South 10th Avenue here in Edinburgh or call, and we have a certain set of workers also attending to the community. So don't despair. You know, if you have a question, call us, and if you don't know where to go, just pull down that voter list and you can go to any of the 74. The three highest turnout, by the time 2 hours had gone by, we already had close to 6,000 voters, and that was by 9 o'clock, with Lark in McAllen, Westlaco, and the elections annex, of course, being the top three locations where people are going out to vote. But, you know, if you find yourself in a hurry, then try not to go to those three because you've got all those others that you can go to. And, you know, those are running not as busy. So if there are no other questions on that, I would like no action on item B. And again, 318-2570. If you have a question, we're there to help you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. All right, we move back to item 5C.
Hello again. By the way, Judge, for item 5A, there's no action. We're postponing that till another meeting. So item 5C is a proclamation declaring November 14th, 2018 as World Diabetes Day. And if I could ask the members of the RGV Diabetes Association, President Dr. M. Yatsji, CEO Diana F. Ramirez, and some of their board members to come on up. I'm sorry, how do you say it?
Amir, don't say it. I'm not Dr. Yatsji.
Okay.
Good morning.
Sorry. Whereas the International Diabetes Federation and the World Health Organization started World Diabetes Day in 1991 in response to the escalating health threat posed by diabetes, it has since become the world's largest diabetes awareness campaign. And whereas the theme for World Diabetes Day focuses on the family and diabetes to raise awareness of the impact that diabetes has on the family and to promote the role of family in the management, care, prevention, and education of the condition. And whereas diabetes is the leading cause of heart disease, stroke, blindness, kidney failure, and lower limb amputation, 1 in 2 people with diabetes are undiagnosed. And that equals to 212 million people worldwide who do not know that they're diabetic. And whereas many cases of type 2 diabetes can be prevented by adopting a healthy lifestyle, when a family eats healthy meals and exercises together, all family members benefit. 80% of type 2 diabetes is preventable through the adoption of a healthy lifestyle, and 70% of premature deaths among adults are largely due to the behavior initiated during adolescence. And whereas all health professionals should have the knowledge and skills to help individuals and families manage diabetes, education and ongoing support should be accessible to all individuals to help manage diabetes. And whereas Hidalgo County has adopted several employee and community healthy living initiatives, the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association offers various resources and programs to prevent and control diabetes and to improve the lives of all people affected by diabetes. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim November 14th, 2018 as World Diabetes Day and encourages all residents to help fight this disease and its deadly complications by increasing awareness of the risk factors for diabetes and providing support to those suffering from diabetes.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approve the 6th day of November 2018, and I'll go ahead and allow you to introduce yourself. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Judge Garcia. It's great to see you again, and esteemed commissioners.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Amir El Sayed. I'm a co-founder of the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association and current chairman of the board. Joining me today is our CEO, Diana Ramirez, and our cherished board member, Dr. Ori Erdem. And diabetes is very serious here in the Valley. This is one of the highest prevalence in the entire United States, and it goes with obesity as well, obesity and diabetes both together. Right now in the world, there are over 425 people living with diabetes. That's type 1 and type 2. Here in the U.S., it's a little over 30 million Americans. And here in the Valley, it affects around 12% of the Hispanic population actually across the U.S. And here in the Valley, actually that percentage is a lot higher. But we want to thank you all for today as well, for the proclamation. But more importantly, next week, November 14th, we really want to encourage everyone to wear blue, which is the international color for diabetes. And just to bring the awareness again, everyone here is affected by diabetes, whether you're living with diabetes yourself, have a family member or a loved one. Diabetes impacts and affects everyone here in the Valley. So we really want to have everyone wear blue. You could send it to our Facebook page. Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association is our page, or rgvdiabetesassociation.info is our website. But also November 14th, we have a special panel of diabetes experts, which will be at the Mission Event Center at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And then we'll have other events, blood glucose testing going throughout the morning, various HEBs across the valley, McAllen Sports, as well as Dr. Yazji's office right down the street. Do you have anything to add, Diana or Dr. Erdem?
The most important thing is all the money that's raised by RGVDA stays locally. We stay in Hidalgo County. We support Hidalgo County. Our office is down the street. And so we appreciate everything that you as our commissioners have done. The judge has danced at our Dancing with the Stars. And
You need to recruit somebody else here.
I'm already thinking of two.
Okay, Eddie, you're coming.
So we appreciate everything, and November being National Diabetes Month, it is so important to get tested and remember your numbers count. Contact us. We provide cooking classes, vegetarian classes. Our cooking classes are in the morning and in the evening. We have diabetes meal planning. We can help you in any way, anything that you need. We're here to do that. And of course, all of our services are free of charge. We encourage you. We have some posters to put up the posters and encourage your staff to also get checked.
Good morning. Thank you for having us, number one. Number two, I happen to be an educator, and I believe very, very strongly that education, knowledge is power. So come to our events, learn about diabetes. If you don't have diabetes, if you don't have a family member who has diabetes, at least you can be a fountain of knowledge for someone who needs the help. I stress very strongly that we work with our children. I believe that they're our future. Most of us are on our way out the door. But our children are the ones who are going to fight this diabetes and maybe conquer it one day when we're not around anymore. So children really need to get the education. And like I said, education, knowledge is power. Thank you.
And with her term of saying about children, we have a camp for children with type 1, type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic. It's the second week of June. If any of you would like to visit our campground, we're on the 9 Mile Line in Conway. During that time, we have all different types of activities there, and if anybody wants to contribute and help, please, we'd love it.
If you know any children who can come, please invite them. It's free, and it's fun.
And this year, we are extending 4 days, 3 nights. It's always been 3 days, 2 nights. But the kids enjoy themselves so much that they've asked us to increase the time.
And we have a very token of appreciation. The blue circle here to represent World Diabetes Day. We brought each one of you one of these gifts. If you could proudly wear it next week on November 14th. Thank you. Thank you. A picture.
Thank you very much.
How you doing? Your module friend. How are you doing? Good to see you. How you doing? Thanks for being here.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I loved it.
How's this well? Hey, close. Okay. Thank you for being here.
Anything else, please?
That is it. Next item is introduction of our new food bank RGV CEO, Mr. Ron Majernik.
If you could bear with me just a second. Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 5D is an informational item to introduce the new food bank RGV CEO, Ron Majernik. Mr. Majernik is the new CEO for the food bank RGV. He joined on November 5th. where he started on November 5th. He has extensive experience in nonprofit manufacturing, wholesale and distribution, and retail management leadership. I'll go ahead and let him say a few words and introduce who he's here with.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for allowing me to introduce myself this morning. I was born, raised, and educated in the Netherlands. I see myself as a citizen of the world, and as such, I spent, of course, time in Europe. I spent 19 years in the Caribbean, Jamaica, 5 years in Florida, and the last 9 years in the Rio Grande Valley. I think this is my last stop. I'm not moving again. I'm really liking it. My family loves it. My kids really feel at home. The last 6 years, I've been in charge of bringing the Goodwill brand to the Rio Grande Valley. So all those stores that you have seen going up everywhere, that's me from breaking ground until ground opening. I was approached in June to become a part of a selection to be the next CEO of the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley. Everybody knows what the food bank is doing, but when you do your research, I mean, it's amazing. The numbers are staggering. And the people that I've met so far, I've only been on the job for a day and 2 hours or 3 hours. The people I've met at the food bank are amazing. They're committed to the people of the Rio Grande Valley. They're doing a really good job. You know, when there's disaster, we're there for you. So I hope in times of no disaster, you're there for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. That's it?
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you. Good to see you. Should have taken the mic. Yeah. How are you? Good to see you. How are you? I'll put you. Thank y'all for being here.
All right, moving on to item 6, our HIDA task force.
Good morning, Commissioner Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Item 6A, requesting authorization and approval to submit a grant extension request for period from January 1st, 2017 through December 2018 to January 1st, 2017 through 6/20/2019 on award number G17SS0002A between Hidalgo County and the Executive Office of the President, Office of National Drug Control Policy, HIDA Task Force.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 7, our County Clerk's Office.
Hello, good morning, Commissioners and County Judge. I'm Berenice Alvarado. I am the Internal Auditor at the County Clerk's Office. And at this time, as suggested by our County Auditor, the County Clerk is closing out the fee and core cost bank accounts. At this time, we are seeking indemnification of the stale accounts ranging from date ranges of 1972 to 2014. The total amount of indemnification we are seeking is for 2 separate bank accounts, and it is for the amount of $41,943.17.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Sheriff's Office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Chief Herrera, the Sheriff's Office, Hidalgo County.
Morning, sir.
Item 8A, Sheriff's Office Operation Stone Garden, fiscal year 16-1284. Ratification of email dated October 29, 2018 to request a 1-month extension for fiscal year 2016 Operation Stone Garden.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
8B, discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Juan A. Garcia, graduate at University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, as intern for Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Internship Program for the period of November 2018 to December 31st, 2018.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
8C, discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Aisha S. Aranda, student at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, as intern under the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Internship Program for a period of January 1st, 2019 to May 31st, 2019.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Item 9, Constable Precinct 5.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, for Constable Precinct 5, they're requesting a payment be made for the installation of a mobile radio in Constable Precinct 5 in one of their Precinct 5 patrol units.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 10, our tax office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Santos Castilla, Motor Vehicle Manager. I have 10A, discussion and approval to execute an agreement between the County of Hidalgo and B&B Insurance Agency, LLC, to act as a limited service deputy authorized agent of the county in the issuance of motor vehicle license renewal stickers. This agreement is subject to the limited service deputy providing surety bonds in the amount of $5,000 per location and final legal review.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 11, our executive office.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Item 11A, one update on ongoing county-owned building construction, relocation, renovation, repair projects. Judge, Commissioners, and for the constituency in the audience, the sidewalk issue that we had at the courthouse that was built has been addressed and rectified over the weekend. The sidewalk was redone according to the original specs, and everything is in order over there. And as well as the glass at the county clerk's office, that was addressed last week as well. There's no action under item 11A2. 11B, I'm asking approval to accept settlement check from Texas Municipal League in the amount of $2,420 to settle an auto claim with one of our county vehicles.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the second related action item is I'm asking authorization as your county executive officer to sign property damage release form to settle the auto claim with Texas Municipal League.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, I'm asking the court to consider a request by Region 1 Education Service Center for the use of the Hidalgo County Courthouse for a 2019 mock trial competition to be held on Saturday, January 19th, 2019, and Monday, January 21st, 2019, in the evening. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D has already been acted upon. Mr. Silguero, item 12.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Carlos Silguero for Human Resources. We do have items that require waiver of the budget amendment. So for 12A, please, requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments for the personnel items that are listed below.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 12B for the tax office. The tax office asking approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period. They're asking to delete slot 0198, currently titled Administrative Assistant 2, Grade 6, and that position was budgeted at Grade 6, Step 6, and it was functioning as a supervisor. So they want, now that the position is vacant, they want to create slot 0210, Supervisor 1, which is the lowest level supervisor, and the slot ends at grade 9, step 1, and we recommend approval. Also, the continue the auto allowance.
Move approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item C for the District Attorney's Office, approval of the following revisions to Exhibit A is approved on Agenda Item 67191. This is simply a funding change. This position was paid a total of $19,623 from account 007 in slot 1 and slot 189, and they're changing the funding, so it's all paid from one slot. So there's actually no change in the total, just in the funding mechanism. So we're asking approval to delete 189 and to increase account 7 by $5,315. There's no net change in the salary.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Also for the District Attorney's Office, they're asking to delete slot 007, Assistant District Attorney 2 at grade 17, and to create Assistant District Attorney 2 at grade 15, and that's a lower grade. There's an auto allowance that goes with it, but we failed to put it on the item, so we'll come back at the next meeting for the auto allowance.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item E for Precinct 2, the Parks Department, they're asking approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period. Delete slot 0011, truck driver 2, grade 5, and create slot 0047, maintenance 1 at a grade 3.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
At the countywide shop, item F, Precinct is asking approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period. Create slot 0015, equipment operator 3 at a grade 9, and we'll come back and delete another position later on in that same department.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
That's all I have. Thank you, Judge and Commissioners.
Judge, Commissioners, if you could please go to item 12E2. I don't believe we had action on that. The approval of the transfer after the action item for.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And Mr. City Auditor, just as an update with respect to the truck driver positions, the maintenance, the mechanics, those adjustments were made in the discussions we had with the court. That'll take effect January 1st.
We did regrade the truck drivers, equipment operators, and mechanics during the budget process, and those have been put in the budget effective January 1.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next item is 14, Urban County.
13, Judge.
13, Judge. 13. Where's that at?
Good morning, Judge.
Sorry, wait.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Margarita Gonzalez on behalf of Clarissa Ramirez. Agenda item 67541, requesting approval for payment for the following invoices as claims with authority for County Treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed by County Auditor. McAllen Public Utility 220 South Bicentennial Boulevard D, account number 0115398, service date 9/25/2018 to 9/30/2018, 411, object code, and amount $7, and 9/30/2018, object code 421, $2.36. City of Rio Grande City Public Utility Department, 5404 Brand Avenue, Building A, account number 10-098-00001 to 9/16/2018 to 9/30/2018, object code 411, $46.06, and object code 421, $58.66.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you.
Bob, if you can help these departments with these types of items so they don't have to sit here.
Yes, sir.
Item 14, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. P.R. Avila with Urban County Program. Item 14A, subject to House Bill 1295 compliance, requesting authority to purchase furniture through Hidalgo County membership's participation with Harris County Department of Education, Choice Partners Awarded Vendor, Library Interiors of Texas, the amount of $5,931.93. funded through the Urban County Fiscal Year 30, 2017 Public Services Library City of Mercedes funds.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item 14B, subject to compliance, House Bill 1295, requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with HERCON LLC with the lowest responsible bidder in the amount of $382,742 using Urban County fiscal years 28, 29, and 30 Hidalgo Parks recreational facilities improvements.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 14C, requesting approval of amendment number 3 to the interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 and Hidalgo County Urban County Program as it relates to the Penitas Lateral Project, pending legal review.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 14D1, Urban County Program is requesting approval of change order number 6 to a construction contract with Morewell LLC in the Hidalgo County Precinct Number 3 flood drainage improvements project known as the Penitas Drain Project Phase 2. The change order will increase the construction contract amount by $76,967 for a total construction amount of $2,192,146.89.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item D2, 14D2, consideration and approval to authorize the county judge to sign this change order.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 14E, subject to House Bill 1295 compliance, requesting authority to purchase 2 large trays through the Hidalgo County membership participation with by board awarded vendor Demco Inc. in the amount of $360.79, funded by the Hidalgo County Urban County Fiscal Year 30 Mercedes Public Service General Library funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 15, our Health Department.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. I have several items today. 15A, sir, requesting approval of certification of revenue in the amount of $71,384.01 as certified by county auditor. Funds are program income generated for Medicaid Administrative Claim Program.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting approval of the budget appropriations in the amount of $71,384.01.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So this next one is an action involving the UH or UREP program. Item B is approval to rescind approval of item number 16A 1A1-67209 on 10/23/2018 due to changes in transfer settlement dates. So we rescind that item from a couple of weeks ago.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So I'm bringing this item today. It's discussion and consideration and approval to draw down funds for the Uniform Hospital Rate Increase Program in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services Commission. The amount is $16,905,981.21. That's $16,905,981.21. Instructions from the local provider participation fund, or LPPF, with the intergovernmental transfer, or IG3, transfer date of November 12, 2018, and the settlement due date of November 13, 2018. This is the final figure given to us by the state. This does not impact general fund, does not impact our budget. This is money taken from the local participation provider fund and used for this special UREP program.
And you recommend it, right?
I recommend it, yes, sir.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3 is approval and certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor for the local provider participation fund, LPPF, an amount to be determined, which is the $16,905,981.21, certified by the county auditor for local provider participation fund, an amount as stated by HHS Health and Human Service Commission's instructions.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 4, approval of the 2018 appropriations of funds from the Local Participation Provider Fund in amount as stated earlier to be determined by Health and Human Service Commission.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Item C is requesting approval for County Judge to sign the Federal Funding, Accountability, and Transparency Act certification as part of the Child Health FY19 contract amendment accepted and approved on 9/4/2018 through item number Alpha AI 66400.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D is requesting approval to accept field support from the Center for Disease Control for the fiscal year 2019. The purpose of the field support is to provide local health departments assistance with Zika-related activities. We actually have a CDC contractor that is in-house assisting us with some of the work dealing with physicians in the community, and it's paid and funded by the CDC. There is no impact on the county. The only thing is we're standing by for permission to have this person be able to take part in county vehicles as we go to different meetings, but otherwise, that's all the requirement for us.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E, sir, is discussion and action included but not limited to included to health care funding district and or in expenditures. There is no items there unless you have any questions. Moving on, sir, to item F, Indigent Healthcare Program, approval to pay 2018 HEB pharmacy claim for Hidalgo County Indigent Healthcare Pilot Program in the amount of $91.83 with the authority for county treasurer to issue check after review and auditing procedures as completed by the county auditor. This was for some medication costs that took place several months ago. We just needed to settle this account with the HEB.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, sir, is approval of contract for outstation assigned specialist in hospital health care facilities for the term of January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019 for the following hospitals: Doctors Hospital at Renaissance, Knapp Medical Center, Mission Hospital Incorporated, Rio Grande Regional Hospital, and McAllen Hospitals Limited Program, the McAllen Medical and Edinburgh Regional Medical Centers. We have indigent healthcare personnel that assist with the enrollment of indigent healthcare clients in their hospitals, and that's just asking permission for them to be there next year.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, so there is no discussion or action on that. If you have any questions. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Eddie. Item 16, adult probation.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Faustino Lopez with the Hidalgo County Adult Probation Department. I'm here on item 16A, residential substance abuse treatment. Item 1, approval to accept RSAT grant from the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division, in the amount of $230,350.30 for the grant period of October 1st, 2018 through 6/30/19.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, approval of certification of revenues as approved by the County Auditor's Office for the RSAT grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, approval of appropriation of funds in the amount of $172,756.47 and the match of $57,593.83 for a total of $230,350.30.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 17, our Community Service Agency. Good morning, Mr. Longoria.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Today, with your help, Commissioners, I get the honor of celebrating one of the unsung heroes of Hidalgo County, the employees who are on the front line working with clients. So I will read item 17A is recognition and resolution in honor of the retirement of Robert Ayala's 34-year service to the people of Hidalgo County. So whereas Mr. Robert Ayala is being honored for his outstanding work and dedication to the citizens of Hidalgo County, and whereas he is retiring from the Community Service Agency after 34 years of service to the county, and whereas he joined the Hidalgo County CSA as an intake clerk in January of 1984, immediately following the devastating freeze of December of 1983 that decimated the valley economy, and whereas his first task was to provide financial assistance to the many families affected by the freeze and served in many capacities throughout the years, and whereas Mr. Ayala developed the agency's first migrant assistance program and homeless intervention program while providing assistance to thousands of Hidalgo County families, and whereas his best memory was receiving a call from a client's family member after she had passed away, placing his name on a list of people to thank for their assistance during her struggle with cancer. And whereas Mr. Ayala is happily married to his wife Maribel and has one daughter, Daisy, he plans to retire to his home in Weslaco. Now therefore be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Mr. Robert Ayala for his service, dedication, and commitment to the citizens of Hidalgo County. Dated the 6th day of November 2018.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, I wanted him to say a few words just because it was interesting to ask Robert to reflect back on the 34 years of service to the people of Hidalgo County. He's got an interesting story to tell.
Well, thank you for the honor.
Good morning, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Just remember, I made a home visit to a lady from had cancer in McAllen a few years back, and I helped her with the light bill and the water. And then a few months later, her sister called me that she had passed away, but she had made a list to call people to thank them for the service that we provided, and she called me. That story keeps me in my mind.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That's it.
Robert was one of the people that I went to, I guess, almost 4.5 years ago, when we transitioned the agency, and Robert was a wealth of knowledge. I did bring some of the more tenured employees with me today just to get Robert into a picture. He's pretty shy about pictures, so I wanted to have a crowd if we could, please. Okay.
On both sides.
Line up on this one. Yeah. There you go.
Look forward and smile. 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Congratulations. Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
I'll continue. Item 17B, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the adoption of the 2019 Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program Service Delivery Plan. Just, gentlemen, in your packets, we do have our service delivery plan for the delivery of services to under our Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program. What this document does is it's kind of the rules of the game as to how we go about giving people benefits under that program. Just to give you the highlights, on page 1, you'll see the weather triggers. So cold temperature of 47 degrees and a summer temperature of 98 degrees. That triggers some added benefits to folks, and that allows us to spend money in a different way. So that would be the first. The other finding is item number 2 is we identified over 100,000 families that qualify for services under our Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program. Keep in mind we have funding for about 7,000 to 8,000 families. So that's about 7 or 8% of the eligible population here in Hidalgo County that we have funding for. And then on page 2 of the service delivery plan, it outlines the service model.
The law actually allows payments of up to 6 to 8 payments for families that qualify for services. The advisory board, after a lot of consideration, has looked at that and has decided again this year to recommend, because of the large population of indigent families that we have, that we half those benefits so that we can try to assist more families. So what that results in is a 3 to 4 payment model. 3 payments for non-vulnerable families and 4 payments for vulnerable families. Vulnerable families would be the aged, the disabled, and families with children under the age of 6. So those are the highlights of the service delivery plan. I'll entertain any questions if you have any.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. Item 17C, discussion, consideration, and authorization for the Community Service Agency to apply for the 2019-2020 Texas Veterans Commission General Assistance Grant, Operation Bravo Zulu. Grant submission deadline is November 16th of 2018.
Let's hope we get it again, right?
That's right.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, just very briefly on the subject of Bravo Zulu, wanted to give you an update. We've already assisted a total of 263 veterans here in Hidalgo County. We've allocated and spent a total of $71,000 in the 4 months that we've been providing assistance. And we look forward, as Commissioner Fuentes mentioned, we look forward to receiving that grant again. We're going to tweak a few things so that we can make more persons eligible. We're looking at maybe considering spouses of veterans to be able to qualify. We're looking at a few changes. I'll be glad to bring back the application once we complete that. Just the last thing under Bravo Zulu, I wanted to mention we will be having a Veterans Day celebration. Mr. Palacios is distributing the flyer, and Commissioner Palacios has graciously accepted the invitation to address the veterans that will assemble on Friday. That's this Friday, November 9th at 2 p.m. there at Hidalgo County CSA, and this is under Operation Bravo Zulu. It's our way of thanking Hidalgo County's veterans. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning.
Good morning, Commissioners. TJ Arredondo for the record. The first item is discussion and action to approve the revised pipeline and utility permit application. We've changed the requirement of the fee to be paid prior to court approval to reflect payment after court approval. Also, there's some minor additions with respect to general information. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item is approval of pipeline and utility permit. The applicant, Texas Gas Service, is replacing 210 linear feet of 16-inch steel pipe crossing Mile 4 North Road and extending east along the south right-of-way of said road and connecting to an existing 16-inch steel gas pipe. The project location is Mile 4 North Road, approximately 70 feet east of Mile 1 East Road. We've talked to the Precinct 1 staff. They have no objection. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Precinct 1.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Mayor.
Hold on, I lost my... Precinct 1 is requesting approval to accept the counter offer to purchase the tract of land known as parcel number 7 and number 43 associated with the Mile 6 West Road Improvement Project, with authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
21, Judge.
All right, item 21, precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 21A, requesting approval of Amendment Number 1 to the Interlocal Cooperation Agreement with the City of McAllen, approved by Commissioners Court on 7/25/17, to amend the city and county jurisdiction lines for the Precinct 2 Military Highway Extension Project.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item 21B, requesting approval to enter into a license agreement between the County of Hidalgo and FAR San Juan Alamo Independent School District to allow the county to modify and utilize an existing parking facility on PSJA ISD property by general public users of the Precinct 2 Regional Linear Park Phase 1.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item 21C, we're requesting approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of FAR regarding the construction of a new gun range that will be available to county law enforcement to accommodate the Regional Linear Park Project Phase 2. And we're asking for approval, contingent legal approval.
So approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item 21C, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement project regarding the Regional Linear Park Project Phase 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item 21D, we're requesting approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of FAR regarding the relocation of city water and sewer appurtenances to accommodate the Regional Linear Park Project Phase 2.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 21D2, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, we're requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement project regarding the Regional Linear Park Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you.
Precinct.
Budget.
Go ahead, sir.
Ready? Morning, Judge Commissioner, Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 23A is approval of the 2018 tax roll totals as per Section 26.09E of the Texas Property Code. Just for the record, the total tax levy for 2018 is $203,193,191.95. The average residential home value is $101,389.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
What was that value?
The total value?
The total value?
The total tax levy was $203,193,191.95.
And what was the amount that taxable property in the county?
The total taxable property is $35,459,441,332.
Thank you, sir. Item 24, purchasing.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 1, acceptance and approval to execute the guaranteed maximum price amendment number 2 between Hidalgo County and Morganti for the construction of the new courthouse in the amount of $127,902,516 and approval of the notice to proceed.
Move for approval.
That number is different from what's on the agenda.
Yes, that's a correction.
Oh, it's a correction. Okay.
With correction.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And we have a presentation by Jacobs.
Oscar, Brian, just a real quick rundown with respect to the GMP.
Okay, so let me, Brian McIntyre with Jacobs. This is Oscar Garcia. I'll just real quickly go through this with you all. You pretty much everybody can look out the window and see where we are. We've got the GMP for this is the full GMP for based on the 50% documents. We've still got a 100% document that comes out that makes it's the final details of everything. We feel pretty good about where we are today. Just real quickly, the work that you see going on out on site, that's it. That's the piers and the grade beams. So there are about 100, I think there are 150, 170 of those of varying sizes. So we've gotten started doing those. That's basically what holds the building up. We got you a couple of images of what the site looks like right now. We do have time-lapse photography and some live streaming that we're going to be able to do. We're going to work with the IT folks to see how we can incorporate a regular update to the image on the website so that people can see it. And then there are a few people that will be given access to so that they can have sort of real-time control of the camera.
And Brian, if you
Yes,
will, do you see those footers there?
Yes, sir.
Concrete you want to let everyone know what
Sure,
that is?
sure. That's a surprise, is what that is. That's where the old courthouse used to be. Yeah, the original courthouse used to be years and years ago. So we're working on when we went about the business of excavating to get ready to do the piers and grade beams, we found those, and they are right where the building, right where the western part of the building is. So
it was the area actually under Klausner. So
right
once Klausner was exposed, so was this.
Okay. So we're going to be just a brief overview. Everybody knows that our program budget is $150 million. We want to assure you that we're still within that $150 million. We haven't gone over. So they're the line items that make up that $150 million budget. What's included in the GMP were the pre-construction services, the mock courtroom construction that we did, early site package, which is the work that's going on now, then an update based on the 50% CDs and 100% structural drawings, and that gives us the total cost that there is listed there. There are some things that we wanted to talk with you about the process of getting this number. There was a significant or extensive VE effort by the project team to come in and make sure that we were still getting the right building for the best price that we could for the county. The schedule and talking with the contracting community, it was not possible to get the building done in 34 months under a normal work schedule. Had we gone with had we really stuck to the 30-month schedule, it would have required a lot of overtime, a lot of additional shift work, which, as you all know, would have driven the cost even further up. This is good news. The local subcontracting looks like it's going to make up about half of the GMP. So that is, in my opinion, that's very good news, given the fact that some things aren't well represented in the area for things like the elevators. Okay, there's not a local elevator presence for us to buy elevators from. And so there are a number of those kinds of things. So the fact that we're able to get up around 51% is pretty good news. And then finally, a couple of meetings back, we talked to you all about a CSIP, which is a contractor-controlled insurance program, and we had talked to you about some of the benefits of that. One of those benefits was that we felt like we were going to get you better coverage and save money. At the end of looking at it, it looks like the savings are about $1.5 million by going to the CSIP. And the guy that represents you all for insurance interest, he even wrote back to say that this is a good program and it's a good use of that effort. Okay, so. This is a schedule that probably no one can read. It's the next 60 days, and I can tell you what it is we're going to be moving dirt, installing piers in the ground, working on underground utilities, maybe get into some grade beams, and that sort of the work. The really not super glamorous stuff that happens below the surface of the dirt is what we're going to be working on for the next couple of months. Oh, and that's it. Anything else that we can answer for you guys? Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. Next item, our executive office.
Item 2.
I'm sorry, A2. You're
A2,
right.
yes. 24A2. Presentation of the bids received for the purpose of award to the responsible vendor, Elite Transport and Cleanup Services, submitting the lowest and best bid, and approval of the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
24B1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirement under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A, a professional service.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Pursuant to the demonstrated competence under the Professional Procurement Act, Government Code 2254.003, approval of the contract for the collection of delinquent taxes with a law firm of Linebarger, Gogan, Blair, and Sampson to include a revision to Article 3.02, which requires the county to pay the firm within 30 days as per the Prompt Payment Act.
I'm sorry, what was that last
Which was
comment you made?
We're going to make a revision on the agreement to include to Article 3.02 to include the 30 days, which requires the county to pay within 30 days.
It's a new statute that forces us to pay 30 days.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right, yeah, it's so that we can comply with the statute, and so there was some language in there that had less than, but under the statute, we have 30 days, so we're just amending it to reflect what the statute tells us to do.
Okay, move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 262024A4, a professional service.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor,
Personal
say aye.
service.
Aye.
Aye, motion
Personal
carries.
service, I'm sorry, I said professional. Item B, acceptance of the proposed scope of services and authority to enter into personal services contract with Davila and Associates for the provision of translation of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 and Commissioners Court meeting proceedings for those in need of same through electronic devices.
So move.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, I'm sorry, just as a bit of a background with respect to the project at hand, while this started out with the request under the Drainage District, there was an obvious need on the county side, and so the county took the lead with respect to the procurement of the service, and through our agreement with the Drainage District, the Drainage District is going to receive these services through the county, and as per our agreement, whatever the cost is will be at cost, but through our agreement. So just wanted to make clear that how this started out as a Drainage District request, but when we looked at the bigger picture, there was a need on the county side, so we took the lead, did the procurement side, and then the district will be covered through our interlocal with them.
Mr. Guerra, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
On 2B, do we need to look at that and postpone action till next week?
2B, no, sir. Everything is in order with respect to the process that we're going to undertake. You're talking about the authority to enter to personal service
I have a
contract?
question about that.
Okay.
Can we just take no action, let Mr. Guerra and I talk about it?
At this point, what I'll recommend is we take action subject to the legal question, and then and if there is an issue that needs to be resolved, obviously we won't proceed with the action, and then we'll clarify that. I just don't want to delay the project any longer.
Yeah.
So can we amend the motion to be that subject to legal
yes.
review?
Yeah,
And we need to vote on that.
that's my motion, Steve.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, requesting approval of amendment number 1 to service contract C-18-223-0731 between Hidalgo County and ServPro of Harlingen for bill-back services to the property located at 1902 Joe Stevens in Westlaco.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, Ms. Marty's now going to take over.
We're a tag team today. Item C1, Precinct 1, requesting approval of work authorization 2 in the amount of $64,405.94 with B2C Engineering LLC. I'm making that correction for the record. B2Z Engineering LLC as it relates to construction management services of the mechanic shop bays to be attached to Sunset Park Operations Facility.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For Precinct 2, D1, requesting approval of Supplemental Agreement 1 for the services under Work Authorization 4, Contract Number 208, for Terracon Consultants Incorporated, resulting in an estimated cost increase of $800 for the countywide shop facility project.
Second.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is ratification of the fully executed change order number 4 in connection with contract number 378 with Clore Construction LLC for the Hidalgo County Precinct 2 Regional Linear Park Project from Ridge Road to San Antonio Avenue, as recommended by the project engineer Christopher Rodriguez, P.E., and subject to compliance with Form 1295, if applicable.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
E, for Precinct 4. 1, acceptance and approval to execute the final AIA A133209 Exhibit A Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment Agreement between owner, Hidalgo County Construction Manager at Risk, Holtzmont Construction Incorporated for the CMAR Memorial Park Phase 1 GMP project, subject to final legal review as to form by legal counsel prior to execution.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item 2, action to accept and approve user agreement between Hidalgo County Precinct 4, San Carlos Endowment Center, and the Boys Girls Club based on an original procurement by Hidalgo County for the nonprofit to occupy unused space at the San Carlos Endowment Center.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
F1 for the IT department. This is pursuant to procurement packet requesting action to approve evaluating committee for, cloud hosted and managed email services. That's project number 94, including but not limited to the following options. A, recommended evaluation committee as presented for consideration by an IT. That was Raul Silguero, Arim Arevalo, Stan Ramos, Rigoberto Hinojosa, and Linda Fong. Or B, otherwise as selected by the members of court.
Well, like last time, I think that those names are fine. I just want to add Mando Garza for myself, and I'm sure the commissioners want to
All
add
members of the court to observe and the process. Okay,
members of the court.
so it's A plus members of the court,
Yeah.
representatives.
Right.
Yes.
So move. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
No action on B then. 2, A, presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court in connection with countywide internet connection and connectivity RFP number 314. The average scores were Foremost at 93.50, SmartCom at 93.13, Spectrum at 70, and AT&T was disqualified. Does the court wish to rank those qualifying in accordance with their scores?
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item B is authority for purchasing to commence negotiations with the number 1 ranked participant firm of Foremost in order to finalize an engagement or contract for the provision of countywide internet connectivity and connection.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Judge, I just have a question. The pilings that they unearthed on the courthouse, from the former courthouse, would that have been within your lifetime and mine?
It was in 1908.
1908.
Okay, then I visited the one after that. I was beginning to feel a little haggard if that was the one I visited when I was a child. Thank you.
Well, you probably remember it with the... Don't go there. It was 1954 when they tried it.
before that one.
Oh, that's one.
54, I know.
It was built in 08. It was torn down in 54.
Okay, because I remember visiting the one with Steve Vance, men in their Panama hats, white linen. See, I hope that doesn't indicate I'm underground too.
Under open forum, did anyone sign up? All right. Do we have any? Yes, we do. Pursuant to 551071 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Session. Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. So item 28, open session. Let me go back to item 27A and B. There's no action to be taken under 27A, and no action to be taken under 27B. 28A, real estate acquisition appropriation for sale. There's no action to be taken. 28B, pending and or potential litigation. There's no action to be taken. 28C, deliberation regarding the following economic development negotiations pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Section 551.087, Project H2-18 will proceed as directed. 28D, deliberation regarding the following economic development negotiations pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Section 551.087, Project U2-17, We proceed as directed. Item 28E, cause number CL 18-5022-G, Jesus Esqueda versus County of Hidalgo and Roberto Perez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like for the court to entertain a motion in settlement of the bodily injury portion of this claim in the amount of $30,000.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
For the record, I will go ahead and let the auditor's office know, but it will be made out to Jesus Esqueda and Driscoll. And we'll continue to work the balance of the claim. So 28F, claim of Juan Lopez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make a total offer of $1,186.78, which is inclusive of property damage and BI.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And item 28G, claim of Miguel Cantu. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $142.84.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And 28H, an IR-related request in action. 28H, claim of Alma Ramirez Vallejo. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in settlement of property damages in the amount of $4,751.93.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And 28H, claim of Nereida Ramirez Vallejo. Judge, I'm sorry. 28I, claim of Nereida Ramirez Vallejo. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of BI, in the amount of $500.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
My apologies, not in BI, but for BI. And there is no need to go back into close, and so we will. Our next Commissioners Court meeting will be November 20th. November 20th.
Need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.